Yo, what's good people, it's Cactus, and in today's video, I'm going to be making a Pop Smoke type beat. It's been just over 2 years since we lost him, so RIP Pop Smoke. The style that I want to go for is quite orchestral. It's the style that got me into drill in the first place. So yeah, I'm going to cook something up from scratch and we'll get straight into this one. Alright, so the way that I make Pop Smoke type beats is I usually start with some strings, build a chord progression, I'll add something like a piano, maybe a choir, another set of strings like a violin, and then maybe some vocal phrases. So right now I'm going to start with some strings. I'm using session strings 2 in Contact, and I'm going to bring the BPM up to anywhere around about 140 to 145 is okay. I'll set it at 143. And then for the scale, we're going to use a different scale this time. So I'm going to go to scale highlighting and we'll select minor harmonic. The harmonic scale is pretty good for getting dark vibes because there's a lot of semitones in it. If you look, there's one here, there's a set there and there. A semitone is basically just going one note up or one note down. So if you're looking at the scale, we've got 3 sets of semitones. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter what the root note is right now because we can always change it and it depends on what note we're going to start with. But let's go to D. And I'm just going to start building out some chords. And maybe copy that across. Try and invert this one. Invert the A. Maybe we could bring this one up too. And now I'm going to add some bass notes. So we started on D. We went to D again. And then we just came down like this. So I quite like this progression. And just to quickly recap, all I did was start with a D minor chord. This D minor here. And then I brought the second note down. Again, just using those semitones. And then instead of bringing this one down, I brought it up for some variation. And then I went to an A sharp major chord. But I decided to flip the A sharp just because sometimes it sounds a bit better when the notes are closer together. It doesn't mean you have to do that, but it's something to try. I'm just going to bring the velocity up a bit. And then I'm going to randomize the velocity with Alt and R. And you know what I could try? I could try bringing these middle notes up a full octave with Control up. That doesn't sound too bad. Or I could have both, so I could copy these, bring them back down, maybe turn these top ones down a bit. Just fills it out a bit more. Alright, cool, and then let's try some different keys. So I just press Ctrl and A to highlight everything. I'm just pressing Shift and up, and I'm just thinking about where the 808 is going to land. So I know that the 808 usually sounds good on D sharp and B. Let's try this. I like the way that sounds, definitely. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to add is a piano, but I'm only going to use this to get the bass notes and make it sound a bit darker. So I'm just using the Noir preset or the Noir Bank. This is just the basic pure preset, or you could go to Grand Piano and choose the dark preset. Let's go with that one actually. And I'm literally just using this for the bass notes, so I'm copying the bass notes of the strings. And then I'm going to press Ctrl and A, Shift and click, and then Ctrl and up to copy them. Try another one. Alright, so next I want to think of a counter melody. So I can either use the same piano, I could use something like a violin, I could maybe use both. But I'm thinking right now I want to try and figure out some kind of piano melody. Maybe quite a simple one that's quite catchy. So I think I've got something here. And I don't want to quantize it perfectly. Let's try it up an octave though. Okay, I'm just going to EQ the piano a bit. I need to save room for the 808. And then some reverb too. I want it to be quite ambient, so I can leave the mix at around about 30. And then I'm just adding a bit of Echo Boy. I've got the Echoplex preset, but I'm just bringing down the mix level. Last thing I'm adding is this preset in Portal called Backsliding. But again, I'm just bringing down the wet level, just so it's a bit subtle. Alright, and from there, I've just taken that counter melody and I've pasted it into Analog Labs. I'm just using this preset called Ask Her Out. I'm also taking another preset from Analog Labs. This one's called Age Strings, and I've just copied the chords of the main strings. I just like the combination of using real strings and then the synthesized ones. I think they kind of work well together. All right, next I'm going to add this violin from Spitfire, and I'm just going to click these notes in. Alright, so I've changed the violin to this one from another Contact Bank in the Chris Hine collection. It's just called the Old Violin. It's one of my favorite violins too. Sounds crazy. Okay, so I think the last thing that I'm going to add before I start the drums is just some vocals. My favorite thing to use is vocal phrases, so from Contact Banks like this. So I'm just adding some reverb to the vocals. Actually, I'm thinking maybe I could pitch this up a full octave and bring some of that EQ back. I think they just cut through a bit easier now. When I start arranging it, I'm probably going to have the vocals in one section and then the violin in the other, just because they tend to clash. But yeah, I'm going to start adding in some drums. So if you're new to drill, I like to use counter snares as my hi-hat, or drill counter snares anyway. And the pattern's pretty simple. You just skip 2, and then skip 1, and then repeat that. And then to add some bounce, we either remove some, add some filler notes, change the position, but that's the basic structure. And then I'm actually going to layer that counter snare with another one, but not every single note. And with the other ones, I'm just going to randomize them, turn on bipolar. And this is just going to help the mix a little bit. It's not going to be directly layered on top of the other one. Alright, for the snare, I'm going to start with this one and I want to layer it with another one. Maybe this. So I could either have a pattern like this, or maybe I could reverse that. I think that sounds better, you know. Just had to turn the velocity up though. Sounded kind of quite hit. Okay, so for the 808, these Pop Smoke type beats, I either like to use my go-to New York one or the Crime one, so we'll try both. As always, I'm going to bring everything down in the envelope except for the hold. Sometimes I just boost the attack a little bit, and that just saves that extra room for the kick. So the progression's just going like that. can work out the slides. Maybe I'll slide these ones up. Repeat this one. That sounds kind of hard. And I've just realized the notes are actually panned a bit to the right. I was wondering why it sounded weird. So I'm just going to bring them back to center. Alright, so we got the main drums in there, we got the 808 kick, counter snares. I just need to add a few more perks and then maybe some effects and some risers, and then I can start arranging it. Alright, I feel like I have to add the gunshot in this type of beat. Now I'll pan these. Alright, cool. So I think I've got enough for the beat right now. As always, I'm just going to finish mixing it. I'll arrange everything properly and then I'll show you the final outcome. Alright, so I finished mixing and arranging the beat. I only added a couple things. It looks like I've changed quite a bit, but all that I've really done is just pitch things down and up an octave. So in the intro, I've got all the strings down an octave. When it gets to the hook here, it comes back up. And then I've done the same with the piano and the violins in some parts. So yeah, I'm just going to play it and I'll talk you through it all. So in the intro, I left the EQ off so you can hear the bass of the strings. And then I added a sub bass for just before the drop. And then the violin comes in, and then this is the hook here. Just use the piano and that plucked instrument for the hook. And this is a new 8-way pattern. So yeah, we come into the verse, and that's when the violin comes down an octave. And then we've got the vocals. So that's how I add my variation. I've left the vocals for the verse, everything else is in the hook. And obviously the two 8-way patterns. bridge here, I've just brought the strings up an octave again, and the violin, so it's like it rises back up. And then yeah, obviously the second layer of strings is just for the hook. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you're feeling the beat. And just a quick update on the course, because I know a lot of people have been asking about it. And the course is finally ready. I've got all of the videos edited. There's just a couple bits that I need to finalize. So yeah, I'm going to be announcing the release date real soon. So definitely keep a lookout for that if you want to learn everything that I know about drill production and making beats in general. And once again, I appreciate you all for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.